I've done them.
Shrooms?
I loved shrooms.
I loved shrooms.
But
It's
I didn't
really
have a bad
easy to
trip.
take too many.
Yeah.
I also don't like
We've witnessed that
regular
before.
mushrooms to begin with.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't either.
Yeah.
And these taste terrible.
I don't.
I believe it.
So
Only thing, like, obviously we've told the Frank story about shrooms, but I remember when you guys came in, Nick, our old drummer, he's like, he had this dead serious look, and he wasn't like tripping. He didn't seem to be tripping to me, but he's like, Mike, I got to explain something to you, because he was trying to get me to try it. I was like, think about like a balloon that's deflated. I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, right now, my brain is no longer deflated. It's fully stretched. It's fully filled with air. I'm like, I don't get it.
and I think
you're talking nonsense. You're on drugs.
I think we've told the story before, but Nick's idea was to give us all little notebooks, and when we were tripping, he wanted us to write shit down.
But you guys did this at the condo,
the duplex.
the duplex,
Yeah.
and didn't you? I think I was there with your other brother and Tom at one point, just for a little part of the day, and you guys put him on a pizza.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because we did it Friday night, and nothing happened, and then we did the following night, and we thought same thing. We got another bad batch, and all of a sudden, boom! It was
You got sold portobello crumbs.
somebody sold us some bad shit, and then the next day they got them from somebody else, and they worked eventually. But when they hit, it was like 8-9 hours nonstop. But Nick, I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Nick's notebook idea was, when we're tripping, we write out everything we think of while we're doing this. And this was Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then like Tuesday we sat down. We're like, all right, let's go over this stuff we wrote down. We have no fucking idea what the fuck we were talking about. We like, to this day, I'm like, what? I remember parts of it, and I'm like, what the hell are we talking about?
I don't want to do that stuff because, like, I'm afraid I would like get in my car and drive somewhere I don't want to be at, or do something stupid. Like, I don't know. I'll never do like acid or anything.
Oh,
like
I would
that.
never do acid.
Like, I'm probably not going to do shrooms. I've never even smoked weed. I'm not going to do cocaine or anything. Like, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be kind of a
So
big.
you've never even tried weed or?
I've had edibles, but I've never smoked weed.
So you've done more drugs than me, technically.
Technically, yes.
I've never done anything.
Like,
But my fear isn't that my fear isn't that I will hate it. My fear is that I'll enjoy it.
yeah, too much.
Because I've talked about this many times. I overdo everything. I drink till I fall asleep. I might not drink every day, but when I do, I drink till I fall asleep. I eat the entire box of pizza. I don't eat like the 2 pieces and then I'm kind of stuffed. I'm good. Yeah. So if
Let me share with someone else.
I'm that type of person that would be like Belushi or Farley, any of those party time fat guys. I'm gonna do it all. And then, so to me, it was just like, I know I'd like cocaine. If I did cocaine once, I'd be dead later that afternoon. That would be me. I'm that person. I just know it because I don't have the off switch. I have the pleasure center. I overdo the eating. I overdo everything.
I found my
And
happy
like,
place with just alcohol. It's like I'm either going to be like, if we're at like a party, like this is like a chill.
That's why I
atmosphere.
drink just light beer.
But if
I blow it before I kill myself.
Like I'll be like a exaggerated version of myself if I want to be like loud at a party, or I'll just have like a little bit of a buzz and hang out and chill. Like I don't know.
that's the way you do it.
I don't really want to be out of my fucking gourd.
Yeah.
Like with mushroom. Well, like I mean, I told these guys before when I've had one bad trip. I took too many. They were really potent, and we were at a bar when they kicked in, and it was like dance night and all the strobes.
Not go out in public.
I walked 13 miles home.
Yeah.
I walked 13 miles home from the bar.
Frank walked 5 miles home.
would
walk 13. Yeah, and then when I went home, I was still just tripping balls. I couldn't.
Yeah, it was legit. Like my trip was like 8 or 9 hours.
I
long.
laid in bed for and I don't remember how many hours, but my bed. After that, I learned how to you take a couple and see how you feel. Take a couple mushrooms at a time. But
so somebody like me that doesn't do any of that shit, is it going to hit me later or sooner if I were to do it than someone that does it on the reg?
I don't know that there's.
I think every person's physiology is probably different.
I don't think.
And
there's
I
any.
think I think because like I've had some that were, like already starting to dry out, and they weren't as potent, so they took a little longer to kick in. And I had some that were so fresh that like I took them and 20 minutes later I was fucking flying high. But I mean. My best trip was actually one night. It was me, and my buddy, and his girlfriend and her friend, and we walked around for like 9 hours, the whole city of Roseville. But everything, like it was fall. It was like around this time of year. It was like 65 degrees, 70 degrees out. It was beautiful out, and like everything looked 3-dimensional. every leaf on the tree looked individual and 3-dimensional. It was wild.
This sounds like hell to me. I'm not gonna lie.
It was
I have no interest in that.
It was like what dreams may come.
It was like really wild. It was really, people that say like, oh, I see like I didn't see colors. It just everything was far more vivid.
I saw colors, and that was when he puked, and I saw it coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, like
that's no joke.
So it looked like the
just
scene
more
from
vivid.
The Warlock where he's puking.
Yeah,
puking up that.
and there was like sparkles and color in his puke.
If I want to get fucked up, I'll just rub my eyes way too long, and then I'll start seeing like checkerboards and shit.
Yeah.
What is that? Does anyone ever know what that is?
If I really want to join a different plane, all I have to do is go to sleep without my CPAP on, and I'll wake up all disoriented. Where am I?
You ever try flatlining?
Yeah.
No.
You ever try having a heart attack?
What is that shit though? Where you rub your eyes and you start seeing like checkerboards and like stars.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just your optical. You're stimulating your optic nerve, man.
And you're also probably blinding yourself.
It's probably the same effect like when you're in a bright room and you turn off the light and it's completely dark and your eyes won't adjust.
It's also crazy too. Like it was really sunny the other day, and like I went outside, took the dog out, and I came in and I looked at the picnic table, but then I looked at the wall in the kitchen, and the picnic table projected.
Yeah, it's just like one of those optical illusions.
Onto the wall. You know what I mean? Like that was the last thing I saw in the sunlight. So when I went to the dark house, it like I was blinking and I'm seeing the picnic table like moving up the fucking wall.
See, I don't get that because I got transition lenses.
Yeah.
So everything just adjusts.
Yeah. I have glasses that I don't wear, so my vision is just getting worse and worse.
The last thing I'll mention about that trip, though, was, and we've talked about this, I think, before on the show, was Frank thought we were conspiring against him and walked all the way home from there.
Oh, yeah. He told
And
that
it was
episode
like-
in
it was
episode
December.
1.
He walked home in a T-shirt in December.
None of you that are listening, episode 1, Frank tells that story,
Yeah.
and he did that.
He didn't talk to us for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he thought,
funny.
like, I tried to talk to him. He's like, fuck you, Mike. I'm like, I thought he was kidding because me and him always go back and forth. The thing about me and Frank, we always fight when there's people around because we're always, like, trying to be, like, the boss or I don't know what the hell. But when we're alone, we almost never argue.
Yeah.
But he was mad at me when it was just me and him. He's like, fuck you. I'm like, what? And he's like, fuck you. You and Brian and all, fuck you guys. You're out to get me. I'm like, and he was totally sober at the point.
Yeah.
But in his memory, we fucked him over and we're out to get him.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with like hallucinogenics like that, you don't forget. Like it isn't like alcohol where you black out. Really, I mean, I remember every one of my trips. I remember every one of them. I remember hopping the rails and riding it up to Flint, right down here, right at Martin Road. And
Did you hop rails or do rails?
No,
That was a different time.
No, that was. But I jumped on the fucking. There was a fucking train. We rode it up to Flint.
Wow.
I'm not saying like I'm
up to the BOC plant.
like
fucking
immune to
fucking
this
old
stuff, but I wonder
Cadillac
like
plant.
if you fight the feeling, you're not. You know, if you're not like giving into the feeling of what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
If it's like a waste, you know what I mean?
Well-
Perfect example is something like hypnotism.